All right, what's up, guys? Jeremy Conn here. It's Lowdown, Pickdawgz.com. Make sure you click the like, subscribe button, and the notification button will tell you every time I post one of these. I try to give the weather updates in the morning as well after posting these. I record these. Right now it is Tuesday afternoon, so I record these before a lot of the games hit. You'll hear me talk about what I was thinking for that day. You'll hear me talk about how I did a couple days previous and then focus on some games. But what I try to do here is I post my weather algorithm results and which way it's leaning. And I try to tell you if they're great leans, good leans, whatever, because I think it's imperative. And one of the things I was saying on yesterday's pod is that it's hot as hell in Atlanta for the All-Star game. The ball's going to carry because it's raining in the afternoon, feels like 100 degrees. It's a hitter's dream. The only thing that could be any better is if the wind were blowing out and they were in Wrigley. So, looking at the situation of the stadium, yes, it's a low total. And anything can happen. We could have 7, 8 pitchers come out, however many they decide to use, 10 for each side. I don't know. And have those guys just shut them down. But there's a lot of things to like about this. Like, if you put Jacob Misiorowski on the All-Star team after only playing 5 games, you got to figure he's going to get in. A lot of pressure for a youngster to come in. As I was saying on my show this morning, This is a situation where he comes in and gives up 3 or he strikes out the side, right? Like, there's not much in between. I mean, obviously there's so many things that could happen, but that's just what it feels like. And with the home run derby, I was dead wrong. But again, I wasn't, as I've said before, I wasn't betting it. If I did, I would have bet O'Neal Cruz or James Wood. And then, honestly, once the numbers came out and everybody was on James Wood, I probably would have crossed him off my list. Looking at how much money was coming in on him, I think he was bet the most out of any of the guys. And what a dumbass finish. I hate the home run derby. I think it's the worst thing we have in sports. You take all the different competitions, things they do. The only thing that's akin to it is the 3-point shootout, but that doesn't take 3 hours to do. And we're not going to have a finish decided by 2 inches or whatever they claim the distance of the home run hit. Because those things are fairly accurate, but they're not 100%. And Cal Raleigh wins because of, a couple of inches, feet, whatever it was. I mean, it's just dumb. Like, you're in a home run derby. You've lasted this long. Have a swing off. It's that simple. I mean, what was that? Anyway, getting away from that in the All-Star game, as I talked about, I think there's a lot to like about the over, not just the weather. We do get a lower total because there are great pitchers going. But as we've seen, not everybody's going to be on their best in this game. We've seen low games in the All-Star game as well, which, look, I do think that's a distinct possibility. And one of the reasons why I hate betting the All-Star game is because you're at somebody else's control. I mean, you don't know what pitchers are coming in, when they're coming in, who they're facing, how long they'll be in the game. You don't know how long the bats will be in the game. All you know is that we have a game filled with really, really good players. But when I see the weather there, I'm definitely going to take a shot on the over, where I think a lot of people are going to bet the under just because it's great pitching, and we do see a lot of low-scoring All-Star games. But just kind of where I stand with it. Going back and looking at a couple different things, I've been posting WNBA plays. I've hit my last 2. For Tuesday night, I liked the Sparks in an upset. They were getting 2 points over the Mystic. And what was the other game? Oh, and I like the Indiana Fever to roll Connecticut Sun. Connecticut Sun suck. And I think it's so funny because I'm a guy that you're not going to typically see betting on Caitlin Clark and the Fever unless it's the exact right spot, because they're public teams. And I eliminate a lot of that out. And I know, there are some people that are going to do this differently. This is just my process and how I work things. Like, I literally write down all the games I like and then start crossing them off in reverse. And I try to keep myself on any given slate. And that is including when there's a ton of sports going on, to 8 to 10 games and a couple of prop bets. I bet more than most when it's coming to how many games and things like that. But even then, I would tell people less is more when you're doing this, especially if you're betting, with the 10% juice that's going on everything. That can affect you. It was one of the things I was talking about this morning. I brought up on the show. Like, I use an algorithm for total bases and strikeouts and I have a couple for everything. The one I really like is the bat. I use that for prop bets quite a bit, and I think Derek Carty has something special there. I'll look at total bases, and I'll go through and I'll write down everybody that's projected to get over 2 total bases, and then I'll go look at their prices. Meaning, the other day, I had Giancarlo Stanton plus 110, And if you were looking at the Yankees and you liked that game environment, you would have loved Aaron Judge, who was minus 180. Now, they both got there, but I made more money betting on Stanton, and if it would have lost, I would have lost less money had a Judge not done it, because it's very interesting if you're following this as much as I have, where you look and see some of the top guys, how often they go 0 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 2 with 3 walks. It happens all the time. I'm still pissed about the Austin Riley one from earlier this year as I was celebrating. He hit one off the wall, and that some bitch didn't run out of the gate. He got midway between first and second, went back to first, and that was that. I lost that bet. And baseball wasn't kind to me last week. I think there were 4 games, and I was on all 4, that had 8 runs or more scored after the 8th inning. 3 of those games I was on an under. One of those games I was on an over. That was the Royals-Mets game, which I hit. But, man, does it suck to lose a game like that. I even had a couple other losses that were, you feel good going into the 8th inning. It's 3-1, and, of course, somebody scores 2 runs. You got it under 7.5 or under 7, and you're toast. Extra innings has not been kind to me in most games, but it is what it is. So I guess with the week coming up, you'll hear me talking about some of the WNBA matchups that we'll have. It's kind of hard to do it because I'm talking the day before, and I like talking about that stuff the day of. But when it comes down to it, we don't have much to talk about. I think there's some interesting sports topics that are going around. The LeBron to Dallas stuff is very interesting, if that does in fact go down. You did get a chance to see Conor McGregor's penis if you hung out on social media. That was a thing. And what else? We had a lot of weird stuff going on this week. So, I'm going to keep this short, guys, because there's not really much to talk about unless you guys want me to do a sports talk show. I can sit here and do 15 minutes and talk about what's going on in all the leagues and my thoughts on things that I think should change, things that I think they should keep, all that and more. But I do that on a daily basis when I'm at my job. So for all you guys out there, I appreciate you watching this, listening to this. I will post another one for tomorrow. And then once we get to Thursday, I'm going to have the one ready for Friday morning when all the baseball games start back up. As I just went and looked at the schedule, I was kind of pissed that they didn't have any games, or at least I didn't see any on Thursday. Maybe I missed something, but what an opportunity to get some more games in that day. And maybe you have a 4-game set with some of these teams coming out of the All-Star break. They just had off for a few days. So anyway, I'll step out. Make sure you're checking out all the premium picks over there. I'm still posting plays even when I'm not doing the podcast. And as I've said, August 4th coming up is my surgery. I'll be down and out for at least 2 weeks. There is a chance I could come back early, but I don't expect it. But I'll be ready for football season, which is the good thing. So thank you guys for watching this. Make sure, again, you click that like, subscribe, and the notification button. Everything helps us out, and it lets you know when something gets posted. Appreciate you guys.